Well, those scenes were not in the initial script.
What?
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
I have a sleeping disorder. I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to Staying Awake.
Moon Knight first graced the pages of Werewolf by Night in 1975 in issues 32 and 33. And although he came in as an antagonist in those episodes, the fans liked him so much, like the people at Marvel thought, man, we're onto something with this character. So Moon Knight as a character bounced around in a couple different IPs from 1975 to 1980 until he did finally get his own comic in 1980 and was finally the protagonist that we know today. But really, what made the show exciting now is what made the character exciting then. You're talking about not just years, but decades of storytelling to pick from. And then what you start to look at when you're starting to, start to fathom what the show could be, you start looking at those consistent themes that really you gravitate towards and that the other producers at Marvel gravitate towards, and our head writer, Jeremy Slater. And a lot of those themes and tones, as you can imagine, globetrotting action adventure, very much Indiana Jones-esque, an intense character study.
I can't tell the difference between life and dreams.
Thank you.
Lost the contact lens.
Hope you find it.
Thanks.
What drew me to the show is seeing the whole world through Steven's eyes. And we all can identify with Steven, as Steven is just like a normal guy. And all of a sudden, a normal guy discovers that he has another identity, and that identity is a superhero. I myself identified with him because through his journey, Mark and Steven's journey is to learn to live together, which is every one of us's journey. You have the persona, the mask that we all have and show the people. And you have the self, the real desires and who you are. And we're all hiding that part of us. And through our journey in life, we try to learn to live together.
You're not gonna die. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're alive. What's wrong with you, Mark?
Leila is, she's Egyptian. She's an archaeologist, and she's like a modern day Robin Hood, fights for the people. She's like the full, I felt like I was playing like a full woman because she's like strong mentally and physically and also vulnerable. So it was fun to play all of that.
It must be very difficult. The voice in your head. There's chaos in you.
Arthur Harrow is, simply put, here to save the world, here to make the world a better place. He's a follower of the Egyptian goddess Ammit, and we are here to rid the world of sin. And I have the power to judge who's a good person and who's a bad person. And I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner. But I do it out of the kindness of my heart. These poor sinners have to die. That's my job.
I think what's really fun about Moon Knight is that, he, as a character, we are charged with delivering something that's very unexpected. We love that he's an unpredictable character no matter what. And of course, then that lets our story be incredibly unpredictable. So when there's these gigantic shifts in the story, especially the one in episode 4 is just so much fun.
It's really amazing.
Well, those scenes were not in the initial script.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't set up that way. I think this is what's been so amazing about this process, is that it's been a real collaborative storytelling process, So, initially when I was approached, I actually only read episode 1 and episode 5, and they were very early drafts. And so it was, I remember Willem Dafoe said to me at one point, I asked him, how do you pick the stuff that you do? And he said, I look for, is there space to do something? That's the most important thing. And so I kind of was ringing in my ears when I was looking at it. And I said, okay, it's not there yet, but it looks like there's some real space to make something really interesting. And so 4 initially was all in the tombs. And if you remember, May, Steven and Leila are together the entire time, up until the very end. And so the conversation began. It's like, okay, that's interesting, but that thing that happens in episode 5, what if we brought some of that in? And so that it became a big conversation about how to best make that reveal that he is in what looks to be an asylum. And it seemed, after we had these talks with Kevin and the writers, we started pulling that into this episode, and it just really unlocked something so great and made that ending even more of a wild cliffhanger than I think originally the episode just ended with him getting shot.
When I came on, episode 4 had that bit, and I remember I was just like, wait, what? Like, I kept coming back and I was like, this isn't what? And I was asking my agent, I was like, this is what? Okay. And then when we had these rehearsals where we would sit and like for 6 hours on each episode, go through them. And I remember telling Ethan, like, I really feel like our characters need to have a moment. I just wanted to act with Ethan. So like, it's basically what it was. And he didn't respond to my message. So I was like, maybe I was being too desperate. And then the next day he came and had like this whole idea. And Oscar, you also just like, that's when you jumped in and we're like, yes, please, like let Steven and Mark go away for a second. And like, let's just have this. And it was incredible that we got to workshop that scene together. And I felt pretty badass giving Ethan like notes and ideas.
So yeah, that was a really exciting thing to figure out. And then also in 4, separating Steven and Leila so that Leila can have her own adventure and meet up with Harrow while Steven is, cutting back and forth. And it's something that you haven't had a lot, because it's been so point of view. But the fact that the story starts to open up that way, I think it's a great thing. And there's something that's classic in that, like Macbeth and Hamlet, they have to go away for a moment for you to want them to come back, Yeah. And so we needed the space to like see Leila really, just really shine as she does.